Hello. Hello. I hope my sound is better now. I've been playing around with sound settings. Play some more chess. Some Crazyhouse chess. Hello. I've been... Alright. It turns out there's all this crazy nonsense that happens with audio where I'm using a Mac computer. If you go on a video call, like Google Meet, and then you scream into your mic, the browser, like Chrome, will send a signal to the Mac computer saying, yo, this guy's being too loud, turn down the volume. Turn down the system volume, input volume. And so it just turns down permanently turns down your global system volume input setting. Kind of a little bit wild of a thing to do. And you can't tell Mac to ignore that. It just does it. So I think I will have to disable this in some settings somewhere. Somehow. Okay, we're playing against Sina F. 2141. It's a 5-minute game, no increment, unfortunately. As we know, can't really play Crazyhouse without increment because there's no endgame in Crazyhouse. So I had to go bishop to d7 because otherwise, gonna lose my knight. Let's just get castled up. I'm definitely looking at dropping a pawn on h3 to start an attack. God bless me. So I'm going to go rook to e8 to stop pawn coming to e7 and losing a rook or a queen for a pawn. I of course could have just moved my queen away, but I don't want the opponent to start getting a foothold. Okay, we are allowing a foothold anyway. But the way I see it, it's not so bad to give a rook for a pawn and a knight because I get 2 pieces and the opponent gets 1. Whoops, that was smart. I didn't see that. I should probably pay attention to what's happening. I don't want to take with the bishop, of course, because get this. This is not good. Shouldn't have allowed all this stuff to happen. Okay. So he might go pawn here to pressure me more. Then I would... I think I just want to... I mean, this is quite unfortunate, precarious, but... see if we can try to regain some of our position back. These knights are pretty annoying in that they add a bunch of pressure to my position. On the other hand, so I think I'm just going to allow this. He's going to drop a knight here. I think I want to take this. It's not the end of the world, but it's close to the end of the world. I think he can probably go bishop check, king here, bishop check, and get me all super exposed. So I'm probably just dead in the water here. He might also drop a pawn here, sort of thematic. Okay, so if I go here, queen here check, king comes here. This is checkmate. Or queen here, no, queen here is mate. So we must take. Right, and now if we do not take, then queen here is mate, so we must take. Right. Now if we go here, then bishop check. Okay, I think we're just dead. Okay. Let's try that again. This is a strange move to me. I think having this square be weak is very dangerous. Like if I get a pawn right now, it's coming here. And of course I can basically force a pawn trade. Okay, so he's sort of defending that. He might just dislodge my knight. Whoa, okay. So that wasn't a sacrifice by the opponent, but I certainly don't mind it. Like I kind of have developed my rook, got active pieces, and this is a bit clogged. I expect this? No? Okay. So he might just take a pawn. That's probably a waste of his time, though. What can I do? So I'm looking at pawn here, knight moves, and then pawn here, or if, I guess the knight might go there, and then I can drop a pawn here to start advancing. I think this is just a bit slow. Can't I take this? Or can't I drop a pawn here? So king takes, queen check, and then I might be able to take this. I could also go pawn here. Pawn takes, knight takes, king takes. And that looks pretty dangerous for him. I'm not sure. Let's go queen here. He could go back and defend the pawn. But then I could sack a knight here. Pawn takes. So king back, knight takes, pawn takes. Drop a pawn here, king here. Queen takes. Like my king seems pretty safe at the moment. I'm expecting... What am I expecting? I don't want to get too in the whole in terms of material. Takes. I can also go takes, pawn at b7, hit the rook, and then if the rook comes here, we go queen here, check, rook takes, and then that actually looks pretty good. I'm going to do that. He could, of course, go rook here, but I think I can still go here. It's a bit annoying that this knight defends that square. I can go d4, so I can develop my bishop in particular. Try to trade this knight, and then queen. If he lets me trade for the rook, then my rook can come to, I can drop it on c8 with check, maybe, and then queen, and win a knight for a pawn. This bishop is providing some amount of safety at the moment. And there is some amount of pressure on my position because like knight takes, and then if I take back, queen takes or something, could be annoying. Also, my bishop is hanging. Huh. Okay, so he's trying to get his stuff out. Let's see, pawn here. Okay, so one option is rook here, check, and then king comes here, queen, and then probably takes, and now I have a knight. That's not that much to attack with. So here, knight takes, bishop takes. This is getting risky because I'm just gonna throw in this check to make my bishop be not hanging, and maybe he'll expend a pawn. It's always a small advantage if you can get some pieces out of your opponent's hand. Well, of course, there's always a cost and a benefit. The benefit is that your opponent has fewer things to attack you with, and the cost is that your opponent has more stuff on the board that's doing work. But I just feel at the moment I'm somewhat worried about my king safety could crumble any minute. And so I want less stuff in my opponent's hand so that, like, if your opponent has a bunch of stuff in their hand, they could kind of smash through, like sack a bunch of stuff just to bust open your king position. And then they have stuff in their hand so they can start dropping for the attack. Dropping pieces. This is very, very double-edged in my head because, like, my idea is bishop takes knight. Then you can simply take back with the queen. And then I have this, I can queen with check, which is good. What's not good is the queen is staring down my king position and threatening checkmate with a queen drop on e2. Okay, so he's covering that up. Now I kind of feel like it actually is slightly nicer to get the knight, because now I have this nice square to drop. I don't know if I should be more worried about the opponent's attacking chances. Alright, I'm going to do something a little strange looking. It seems very strange to sacrifice my very active rook for this extremely passive bishop. But my idea is I'm deleting a bunch of stuff around his king and getting some more initiative. My king still seems okay. I guess I should look out for queen drop here. Also, my rook was actually like pretty vulnerable. Maybe I didn't even have a square to move it to. I guess if I had gone here, then here. Wow, really? Knight takes? I think we're gonna have a lot of pressure on the opponent. Do I have a mate right now? I don't quite have enough stuff to mate right now, I don't think. I don't see a mate. Like knight check, king here, or rather king here. Kind of fizzles out. Okay, this might be a bad ooh. Uh-oh. This is kind of bad. Yeah, so queen's coming here. This is... I shouldn't have done it. Okay, so he can, if he wants, he can... Oh, no. So now I'm just closing my eyes and hoping that my opponent does not have enough stuff in hand to really get me. Wait a minute, is this mate? Oh my gosh. Well, I completely screwed that up. That's mate. Good job. I wonder if... Alright, let's go over that game. I feel that we missed some opportunities. Might see a sacrifice here. Nope. So my h6 square is looking pretty vulnerable. Opponent has a battery here. I'm just going to develop. Interesting. Okay, I'm not feeling great about my position. But we're far from losing immediately. Of course, it's very double-edged. If we have castling on opposite sides, the opponent can, start a nice attack. But of course, I can also make an attack. Now, if queen takes, we're going to get the queen back. Oh, wait, no, knight check. Can't I go here, though? This is a strange situation. We might be just okay. Like, the queen is pinned to the king, so pretty much getting that back. Maybe he'll take here? I can maybe just take it back. If he takes, well, okay. If he takes, then I don't want to take immediately. Okay. Okay. Now what? I don't see what the opponent's threatening immediately. Maybe just knight takes or pawn takes. This bishop is doing a nice defense on g7 and also, of course, exerting pressure here. Wondering if I should take or pawn here, pawn here. This kind of d5, d4, d3 thing is always a possibility when the king's on this side, but it looks kind of slow at the moment. I could be super safe and drop on g7, drop a pawn. Okay, I'm not sure what to do. I think if knight takes, I can take back, and then if rook takes back, we get a bunch of stuff on the... Ooh. I think this is not good for him because I think we're just gonna start. We're just gonna put some stuff on the back rank, or on the, on the second rank, and get pressure aimed at the first rank. So I can put a pawn here and threaten to queen. I really don't want to take this because knight takes. What about knight here? Or what about pawn here? Thing is, this bishop can't actually take anything back because then opponent drops on g7. Maybe this is maybe this is just not strong enough of a threat. Guess we'll see. Opponent does have a lot of stuff in hand, which is scary. Wow, you can really just... I can take this. Maybe I'm going to do that. Just... No. How can I give up my attack? Like, the opponent does... I don't see an immediate threat. Like, if I give my opponent one move, so queen takes, rook takes, and then I drop a rook here on e1, check, or not check, but like pinning this rook. What does my opponent actually do? Like, I would be threatening a mate because rook takes, knight takes, queen at c1 is checkmate. Oh, I have mate. What am I doing? Wow. I guess that's why you think for a little while. That's like hard to see. It's like you think you think this rook is defending, but it's not. Okay, bye. Well, those were fun games, but let's review that second one that we lost, because I felt that there should be some opportunities. Okay, so computer thinks this is good. I agree. Okay. Pawn there. Computer doesn't especially like this. Really? Queen here? That seems strange. I don't understand the computer's recommendation there at all. I mean, why? I have a queen in hand. Why would I help the opponent trade away his obscure queen in the side of the board? But okay. Oh, pawn there. Why didn't I do that? Wow, that's really good. I wish I had seen that. If pawn here... Yeah, pawn here now, like, we're threatening this, obviously, so it takes... No? Queen... Not queen takes? Wow. I guess I don't understand it, but... So now we're threatening pawn here. Okay. I don't understand that part. Let's go back to the game. So I did this, and then this, and then this. And the computer thinks this is terrible. Fair enough. Supposedly this is all terrible? So I thought that here I should have opportunities, but if we look down at the bottom, maybe that's cut off, but computer says I don't have much. This is just already bad. Huh. Okay, so pawn here. King takes. Knight check. King comes back. Oh, I don't have a pawn in hand. Wait, what if I had done bishop there? How about bishop? Oh, because... No? Oh, then he's going to come up? Okay. Huh. Alright. Got another game. Oh, it was aborted. Alright, we have a 3-minute game against NROO. Or 00? Or is that a D? Nrod? Nru? Alright, let's just get castled. Interesting. That doesn't seem correct. Like, he's given me a knight and a bishop for a rook and a pawn. Now, do I go here or here? Like, he can drop a pawn here, but... Oh, this is pinned, so... Guess I'll trade this. Maybe I'll just drop a knight here. Ooh, whoops. Can I get away with taking here? Queen takes knight. Or bishop takes queen. Let's see, bishop takes queen, bishop takes queen. Or knight check. Okay, I think we have mate, right? Let's see. Knight check. He cannot take because queen drops with mate. So knight check, king here. Oh, maybe that doesn't work. Okay, knight check, king here. Bishop takes pawn. King takes bishop. The rook defends my knight drop here, but I can take the rook with check. That seems reasonable. Let's do that. And now this is mate by assumption, as they say. Yeah. That's a nice theme. The queen check, king goes to the side, and then the queen supports the rook drop. Might be really, really bad to lose castling rights for no good reason. But I like... Right now I'm not so sad because I got a lot of development. Let's go here. Put some pressure. We could drop a pawn on d5. So the knight's going to come here, maybe? And how do I take... Ooh. I don't think that's good, because... Yeah. I think we're just busting through, pretty much. Well, let's think about this. Queen check. King must go here. I can... Several options. I could drop a pawn here, and this is both threatening to take a rook and queen with check, and it's threatening knight at e6, check, bishop takes, knight takes, checkmate, because the pawn cuts off the king's escape on c7. I could also go queen check, king here, knight check. If bishop takes, then knight takes check, king here, queen takes pawn as mate, and queen check, king here, knight check, king here, and then I'm not immediately seeing the immediate killer follow-up. It's still a very good position, but so I think we're going to go with the first plan, queen check, king comes to d8, and then drop a pawn on b7. I'm pretty sure, I assumed I was safe. I'm not safe. The bishop can come here, check. Okay. Probably should have checked if I was safe. Well, it's not so bad. Bishop check. Queen takes bishop, and then if the knight takes the queen, my king is still largely safe, and then it's my move, so I get to move, because it will be my move. And on my move, I can take the rook with my pawn and check. Oh, interesting. So his point is defending, basically. So his next move is rook to b8. Now, do I do this or do I do this? With this, I'm threatening this bishop, but I'm opening up the f2 square for a pawn drop. If I go here, I'm pretty safe, but I'm not immediately threatening this bishop. Probably should stay safe. Right, so rook went there. Let's see, knight check, bishop must take, knight check, bishop must take, queen takes, rook takes pawn maybe. Then I have no knights in hand. Oh my gosh. It's a... Forgot about the time control. There's no increment. Okay. I shouldn't have taken that. Okay. Let's go check. Never play Crazyhouse without an increment. Okay. I don't want to play without increment. There we go. There's an increment. Okay. Here we go. Just play normal. Get our pieces out. Get castled. Alright, now the game starts. I can come here. Doesn't really do anything. I want to get my rook lined up here and then just start busting through. Let's go here. Alright. So I'm looking at this square. I'm looking right at it with both of my eyes and with my rook. We're looking pretty safe with our king. I don't really see how he gets in one or two moves. So if he's going to be mounting an assault on me, it'll take him a couple moves. Maybe I should have gone bishop here. Check. I could still do it. This knight is pinned though. It's so juicy. It's a juicy pinned knight. Let's take with check. Definitely want to infest the opponent's position as much as possible. I think I want to do this. It's giving up 2 pawns. Oh, he didn't even take. I'm just wondering if I can sack my queen. Let's do it for the crowd. It's probably bad, but for the crowd. Kind of looks like he's escaping, which is not good. If we get to take this, we can prevent the escape. Alright, I'm falling apart a little bit. I don't have another pawn. That's bad news. Well, we have a lot more life right now than we had a few moments ago. I'm just wondering whether to drop my knight or move my knight. I think dropping is good. Oh, I didn't realize that was mate. Okay. Yeah, so dropping a knight in that position expends a knight, of course. But on the other hand, you get more pieces on the board, so more control of the king, and in that situation, the two knights supported each other, which was important for the checkmate, I think. So I like throwing this in there. It's just a little check that lets me get my rook out, kind of give some pressure. It does make this square weaker, but another thing it does is that now, if bishop takes, queen takes, if the rook is not on, you see here, knight at e7 could have been a threat. Now I could sack my my queen for the crowd. Oh, this was probably bad. He can just... Okay. Whoops. That was a mistake on my part. Okay, so I want to put my bishop here. Let's go here. Let's take this. We've got some threats. Okay, bishop here. Whoops. All right. It's getting pretty hairy, but we'll see what happens. I think if knight here, I have to... I think at this exact moment, I'm not dead. What if I just take this? Then what? Okay, pawn here, yeah. I would rather attack, but I kind of feel like I need to defend a little bit. I should probably have been. I should probably throw in a knight. Check. I'm not sure what to do. Oh no, he has two queens. Oh, I didn't see he has two queens. That's very important. That's a thing that often happens. He's got two queens. Two queens. The attacking potential of one queen is considerable, but the attacking potential of two queens is twice as considerable. It's a little bit strange, but for some reason this sacrifice is looking both a little hard to defend and also kind of juicy. Okay, I think what I want to do is hit that knight for a second, and then if it moves, now we sack and go here. Now we're not like immediately winning, but we are got a lot of nasty stuff going on here. Oh, I think this is just checkmate. Yeah. I want to prevent this sacrifice. So I'm not sure if I should have done that. Oh no. Okay, now. So knight is coming here, and it's defended. This is not so great. A saving fact about my position at the moment is just that these two squares where a queen or a rook might drop on my back rank are covered fairly thoroughly. Oh, I ran out of time. That's very annoying. I was just trying to think and talk. Sorry, I got distracted. There's some people in chat. Hello, people in chat. Why is it so hard for me to use my... He's a bit mentally You're playing against my friend. Good games. Thank you. Yo motie how katu. Welcome to the viewers. This is Crazyhouse Chess. Here we go. This is a nice, hello. This is a nice, healthy 4-second increment, which gives me enough time to think about the moves that I'm playing and also to think about what to say to you guys. So this is a little... Immediately when I see this, I'm like, moving the pawns on these onto these light squares leaves holes in my opponent's position on the dark squares. Of course, I can't exploit that immediately, but I'm kind of hoping that he's just going to go knight here and then castle kingside. And then like this square here is weak. If I'm being honest, I kind of want to go e5, but I'm like, I feel like my opponent is going to see e5 and then be so scared of castling kingside that he'll start developing on the queen side. Maybe I should have done it anyway, but... Oh, please castle kingside. I have so many good attacks. I could go check for fun and try to get a queen trade for some reason, but it doesn't really do anything. This bishop is now kind of backwards. Okay, now I like that. I don't mind at all losing a bishop to 2 pawns. It's probably just good for me. Like I'm thinking of sacrificing here. Yeah, so now we have f6 is vulnerable square. And of course we sacrifice our queen. If you're not very familiar with Crazyhouse, it can look strange when people make sacrifices like that, but it's very often just sound and correct Crazyhouse play to sacrifice one or more pieces in order to get a big attack. So right now I'm threatening mate. He cannot take on g2 because knight at f6 check, and then a queen drop will be checkmate. I think I can get away with bishop takes rook because I believe knight here is still a mate threat. Yeah, because if pawn takes, this is mate, and that's what will happen. Or if king back to h8, then queen at h7 would have been checkmate. Huh. All right, we could play against Apple iPhone 5S 3+2. So I really prefer an increment that's like at least 3 seconds, ideally more, ideally like 4, 5, 6 seconds. And the reason is that Crazyhouse doesn't really have an end game. You just have the opening, which is what we're playing now, and then you have the middle game, where there's like attack and defense and trades and dropping lots of pieces. And then after the middle game, there's the middle game, where you have more attack and more pieces being traded and dropped. And then after the middle game, you have another middle game with more attack and more craziness. It just keeps going in Crazyhouse. It's not really a natural end to the game, necessarily. And if you go back and if you look at like old Crazyhouse World Championships commentated or participated in by the Grandmaster John Lee, you'll see some games that go to over 100 moves, which is wild. And they just keep cycling pieces over and over again. It's the Wheel of Samsara, where the pieces keep coming back to attack or defend. So you need an increment. That's the point. So what I'm doing here is a little bit crazy. I sacrificed a bishop and a queen. Or I guess we traded bishops, and then I got a... I guess I sacrificed the queen for 2 pawns. But you see I'm making real good use of these pawns. I'm guessing... Oh, I expected him to not take that. Now what do we do? So I think I'm going to go bishop here. And the idea is... Oh, oops. I wanted to do this, but the bishop is defending. So we can go here, here. I mean, the point of this is that, like, if you count up the points of material or something, my opponent is way, 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 way up. However, if you look at this king is so lonely. There's all this space around the king. Like, my opponent hasn't had time to drop these pieces, and with a knight check, the opponent cannot drop a piece. Must either take the knight or move the king. So the pieces in hand don't actually do anything in a concrete, they're there hypothetically. They're possible pieces, but they're not actual pieces. And so, for the time being, I can just do whatever I want to the king. And we're looking for a checkmate. If it were my move, I'm not sure what I would do. We have this pawn here. We can drop a queen here with check, and then take a bishop, but then he's going to drop a bishop here on g3 and attack my queen. We could drop a pawn here, and then the king cannot take because queen dropping on g4 would be mate. I think I'm just going to do this. So that does defend against that. Okay, I could take here. A problem with taking here is that, well, it's not check, and then the opponent can try to, like, maybe drop a knight here with check. King comes here. The opponent's not getting in immediately, but I think if I allow my opponent 1 or 2 moves, I could start to be in trouble. My idea with dropping at h5 would be that if king takes, we go pawn check, and then king has to go back, and then we take the bishop with check, which is pretty appealing. However, I think if I go check, the opponent could just go back, and then we're sort of helping my opponent to run away. I could also just drop on g5 and just directly threaten this. But again, that's not check. The nice thing about this is that it's kind of making a nice threat. It wins a pawn. So it defends this square. I'm also worried about bishop sacking on f7, followed by a piece, or maybe right now a bishop coming to g6, because this pawn is pinned, so there's no defense on g6. It's always nice to have a knight involved somehow in the attack, because, knights are tricky. So, like, for example, queen drops to here, check. King must go back. Queen takes bishop check. Bishop drops to g3, and then knight jumps in with a check. And that's, like, annoying. It's like, if king comes here, I take a rook with check. Knights are just jumpy and checky and tricky. Bishop here. Okay. So he's building up a lot of pressure here. Also defending this. I think I want to do a little bit of defense. Oh, whoops. This is not great. This is kind of... Oh, he expended his knight. I think he should not have... Oh, he has 2 knights. Oh my gosh. Okay. I did not see that he has 2 knights. Oh, I wish I could take this with check, but then knight comes back. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe that's better than the alternative. So pawn takes, bishop takes. That seems okay. Plausibly, I should just do this and then... Could do bishop here. Could go pawn here. And then pawn here. Or it could be a little more defensive. Maybe that makes more sense. I do need to worry about bishop moving to g7 check. Oh. Oh, he has two queens. Ugh. I always forget he has two queens. I don't know. Am I dead right now? I might be dead right now. Alright, well, we can't go back. If I go here, then... wait a minute. Queen check here. Takes. Queen check. I think this was mate, so I think I... Okay. That's frustrating. So I don't know if this really does that much, but it's kind of annoying. Like if pawn here, knight check. Oh, I didn't expect that. So I like this because now the bishop is a little bit out of my hair for the moment. Oh, I thought I had another bishop. I wanted to... So I should develop somehow. I guess just here. It's kind of passive, but I don't see like a great opportunity to smash through at the moment. So we're just pressuring this pawn. We're defending our back rank, which was pretty weak. And the opponent has both a rook and a queen. Okay, he's attacking my bishop. I don't know how much I care about that. I think we're going to go knight here. This just kind of removes one piece from his defense. Like, yeah, I sort of like transported my bishop here and took a pawn. That's cool. So I'm going to go here, develop my bishop, almost get ready to connect my stuff. Alright, now I want to start getting some more pressure on the opponent. I do need to worry about this kind of thing. Can I go maybe this is good. Sort of has this threat. Oh, what if I go here? Oh, whoops, bishop takes. Well, I also opened up my rook, so we have that defense. Oh, interesting. So he sort of got this fork type of a thing. Well, it's probably better to do this, and then we can drop a rook on. So it's basically, he took my pawn, and then we did a rook trade, but I get a tempo, and now my king side looks pretty safe. And wait, what? Pawn here is his point? Oh, this is check. I should have taken the bishop. Probably should have taken the free bishop with check. Oops. Okay. Anyway, we're in quite a solid position, I think. I should maybe, let's just go all in. Let's see what happens. Alright, we can do any discover check we want. What do we do? I guess here? Or what about rook check? You're trying to attack me right now? I don't think you have an attack. I have too much defense. Like, you might be looking at knight at g5, but so now we do have to look at knight at g5. Make sure we don't allow that. I think we can just take this knight. Okay. Do we have something even more decisive? I think we're safe. Like, a heavy might come here. Rook or queen here, check. But I just drop a pawn here to block. And I've got all sorts of defense around my king. I suppose I could keep check with Alright. I mean, is it going to like drop a rook here, check? Like, the knight can't come here because the bishop is defending. I feel that we're very close to winning, but I don't have a I don't see an immediate killer blow. I guess I have lots of threats now, like queen check, king here, e8 queen. Looks like it leads to mate. Should lead to mate. We could go check, king takes, queen back here, check. Okay, let's go here. He must take e2, then queen check. Let's go back here, then queen here. Oh, well this is just mate. So I'm scared about h3. So I guess I'm gonna just drop, stop, block that off. Now I'm looking at h6. Now do I drop on h6 or do I go queen here? I think let's just drop. There's, in the back of my mind, there's going to be the potential of this. It's not really, I don't think it's going to be very effective at the moment because what you want is something like knight takes, rook takes, and then drop like a bishop to e6 and pin the rook to the king. But that's not on the cards at the moment. This looks like checkmate, actually. You want to be very, very careful about putting too many pieces around your king because if you take up too many squares around your king, you know, got nowhere to go, and then you can very easily put yourself in a position where the opponent can just check you, and you've nothing to do, which is called checkmate. So if it was knight check and king was prevented from coming up, and if king went back, I would just drop a pawn on b7, checkmate. Once he castled, the bishop was no longer pinned, of course. So my knight was actually threatened. This pawn is very weak, so probably just right now, the first chance I get, I'll shore it up. It's still weak, to be honest, because, for example, if he has a pawn in hand and my knight's not here anymore, then pawn can come here. Or even if my knight is here, pawn here. Like, I'm considering this. I could just drop, but I'd rather not expend my pawn. On the other hand, this is like Crazyhouse 101. Don't like leave f7 open because opponent could just drop a pawn, or c7. Opponent can just drop a pawn here and fork your queen and knight. I think we're okay. I mean, he can take and then drop his knight here. But I don't actually mind this because, like, worst comes to worst, it's trading a knight for a rook, which is fine. And best comes to best, it's trading 2 knights for a rook. Not totally sure how to proceed. We do have this nice battery, queen and bishop, and therefore we can drop a pawn here. Pawn takes, bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes. He drops something. He drops the bishop back. Okay, so he's going to take my bishop, which is slightly annoying. But at least I get some dislodging. This knight is kind of awkward. Like, I can obviously move it here, but then what? It's sort of shut down by this pawn and blocked. I could do some really long maneuver, like shuttle it over here. But that's pretty slow. I want to do this, but then knight here, so I guess I can just leave this pawn. I am also always looking at rook takes bishop, because a rook for a bishop is a fine trade. Especially if I have another rook defending my back rank, which is important. But the other thing is it gets rid of, it deflects the pawn, it misleads the pawn, seduces the pawn from f2. So it creates some holes in the opponent's position. I think we'll just go here. So this sort of, like, adds to our defense generally, but also certainly would have been better if the knight was still there, because then we really disrupt the king. But this is pretty good too. So now it's like almost about time to just go crazy. I'm just trying to figure out how to go crazy. So a really crazy thing would be queen check, forcing king here, knight check. If king comes, it's like, let's say king comes back here, knight check, king here, bishop check. It doesn't quite lead to mate immediately. I really want to prevent him from running away. Alright, we're going to try this. Now my point is bishop here. Now he just can't run away. That's my point. I'm not quite... He's still kind of getting out. It's a bit frustrating. It should work. Like, we should be doing well. Here? Oh, I suddenly made things very risky for myself. This may have been like a big blunder. I really should not have made things so risky. It's totally unnecessary, really. Okay, so right now the king is cut off from running this way. We have a nice wall of pawns here. The knight is heading here, but then there's some space open here. So go pawn here or something. Okay, rook here. So he's straightforwardly making a threat. Oh, that sort of hangs the rook, doesn't it? I don't want to allow any holes in my position. Like he can drop another bishop, yeah. I think we allow this hole because we are running quite low on pieces, so I want to preserve some pieces. Okay, let's see. Takes. Huh. Takes. Let me see. I made this much riskier than it had to be. I think we're still. I think we're still fine. But this was definitely not executed correctly. Okay, it's covered. Whoa. Oh no. Okay, rook is coming here. I think we have to... Oh, he has two queens. He can literally sacrifice a queen. Ugh. That's very disappointing. Let's look at that, because pretty sure we were winning, and then we were not winning. Okay, apparently computer thinks this is bad. No, this is fine. Okay, here, supposedly, knight comes to h3. Check is really good. Why? So knight h3, yeah, pawn takes. Oh, because the knight is hanging. That makes sense, I guess. Right, queen takes. Ooh, bishop here. Actually, I don't really understand that, because can't you just drop a bishop on... Man, I really threw that one pretty hard. Oh, this was forced mate. Interesting. Yeah, I was thinking, like, I didn't think very long here, but I guess I was thinking if I put my rook here, probably the king's coming back. Like, I was basically just assuming the king would try to run this way. And if the king runs that way, then I'd probably rather have my rook here on the second rank, putting all sorts of pressure and everything, compared to here. What happens if you go here? So what if king back? What? Knight check. So what if king here? Then knight check. Yeah, this is very interesting. This is sort of... So like when we drop the rook here, either way the king goes, we're kind of making this nice box for the king. Like if king comes here, we have this nice box. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like that. Anyway, that's not what we did. Wait, that's not the right move in this position? What? Oh, because there's mate? How is there mate? King takes, check. Wow, so winning a free rook was a blunder. True. Okay, and then we take a rook. Wow, that's kind of counterintuitive. I guess I just don't have that much stuff in hand at this point. And so it actually is worth spending the time to bring my pieces back into the game. What if I take... Well, I guess it's very easy to screw things up. Huh. So now this is really good. I didn't see this. Yeah, I should have been thinking, oh, he just put a bunch of pieces around his king. Now he's kind of constrained, and now I can just get in there. So bishop here, king must go here. Oh, and now we get this with check. Now do I just take the knight? What if I take the knight? Better run. Okay. I don't feel I understand the principles behind messing this up so bad. Well, anyway, that was fun, nevertheless. See you next time, Internet.